Watches and Wonders.
And Lume plotters.
And the Lume plotters, yes. So, How was Watches and Wonders for you? How many days have you spent
Watches
in
did
Geneva?
I buy from Watches and Wonders? How many did I even consider looking at?
You are the 50% of our podcast members, for our hosts, that actually has been to Watches and Wonders.
I've never been to Watches and Wonders.
I thought was it Baselworld?
I went to Baselworld, which was the legitimate one. I went to the OG, the original gangster.
OG. Okay.
Yeah. Not to mention, I went to the last Baselworld ever.
Oh my God.
And it was just random.
Next time when I see you in person, I have to touch you. Like some
Make
of
sure
the glamour might rub off
the
on
glamour
you.
might, the glitter might fall off. Anyway, yes. So, ladies and gentlemen, today we're going to talk about two things. One, quickly, we'll talk about the Trump tariffs. And two, we'll talk about new watches in Watches and Wonders.
Yeah. So,
but first
what?
You bought a new watch. Another one.
New watch. Yeah.
Actually, you bought two watches. And since the last episode, you've sold one.
Unbelievable. Yes. I sold, what was the last episode? What did I sell? I mean, the Breitling that I sold it.
You never mentioned this watch in any episode yet because it was so quick of a turnaround.
So I had a chronomat that I bought in an auction, right? So I got it in the auction, a chronomat, light blue dial. That's the chronograph, the B142.
We know this, yes.
We know that, right?
The ice blue looking
the ice
one,
blue
yes.
one with the platinum bezel. I love this watch. I even bought 2 new straps for it and pin buckles and stuff, right? So I was like, this is it. I'll keep it for the long time because I actually like it. And then I don't know what happened. I thought, let me sell it. There was somebody, I asked a friend, if you find somebody who wants to buy it because I had something in mind, let me know. And then I changed my mind. I wanted to keep the watch, but I didn't tell him. So he basically said, hey, I have a buyer for your watch. And I was like, oh. And it was a good price, right? So I thought, what do I do now? So then I decided, you know what? Let me let go of it. See what happens, right? And I did. And basically from that money, I got 2 other watches. Yeah. I mean, I got 3 actually. I got a Hamilton. Hamilton
a
Murph, 38 millimeters. Yes. And I think this watch is amazing. I bought it on a bracelet for a very good price, half of retail, and had a couple of really cool straps on it. And it actually was okay, but I think it was just a tad too small for the case shape. It was just looking a bit weird because it
is short. It's like 44.7 lug to lug.
And the lug to lug was killing it for my rather flat wrist, right?
So I would have loved it. And I asked Ralph, I said I would take it and for a reasonable price. And Ralph said, no, the lowest I could go is 2,000. And I was in my mind.
The lowest I could go. I just
you said I would be willing to let it go for 2,000.
What I want to sell it for, yes.
And then in my mind, I was like, I would do 1,500. And then I didn't want to upset Ralph, so I didn't lowball him as the upstanding citizen that I am, right? I wouldn't want to lowball anyone. So I didn't say anything. I said, okay, then it's not for me.
There's a way of doing this. You can say like, listen, Ralph, I don't want to offend you, but this is my offer. This is what the watch is worth for me. So if you ever decide to sell it for this price, then this is
I should have said this because then Ralph momentarily afterwards sold it for 1,500.
Yeah,
so
I traded it basically in. Yeah,
I could have got it. Yeah, I'm kind of pissed off about that. I wanted it, but not for 2K. So
okay. Yeah. Anyhow, it is a lovely watch, but as I said, it's just the lug to lug is a bit too small for my wrist, so that bugged me a tiny bit. Anyhow, so that is also gone. Came, went, and also I didn't wear it. I took it with me to Botswana, right? Together with my Pelagos 39. And I thought, this is great. I can just, ping pong between these two and just wear them. And then ended up not wearing it a single time. And then I decided, okay, it has to go then to get the Hamilton, right? Because I only took it on straps, not on the bracelet. And then eventually in Botswana, we needed so much of insect repellent, which we usually don't need in Africa, but this was a different time, different season. So we had mosquitoes, we had sun, it was hot, so we needed insect repellent and sunscreen and all of this shit. And then I didn't want to put it on straps, right? So I don't want to wear a leather strap with that because then afterwards they ruined the smell of insect repellent and stuff. I didn't want that. So yeah, that's why I just ended up wearing just a Tudor. And you know what? My wife got a compliment for her watch.
Which one?
In Botswana. She wore the Chanel J12, and a man complimented her. Vintage car collector from the UK said, "Oh, that's a lovely watch you're wearing there." And she's like, "Yeah, it's a J12." and he said, "I really like this watch. It's very nice." Yeah. So while he was wearing, I mean, I don't know, he was wearing something very weird, squarish, and it wasn't a Cubitus.
It was a Monaco.
Anyhow, so from the Breitling, basically from the money I got from the Breitling, what happened? 2 Grand Seikos entered my collection.
Well, one entered before you sold the Hamilton, right?
Yes, that's correct.
Which we talked about already.
Yes.
This one, the silver dial.
Grand Seiko GMT High Beat, SBJG or something, BGJ 211. And now I have here this
this one I've looked at numerous times.
Yeah, it's the SBGN 29. It's
which is quartz.
It's a
GMT.
quartz blue dial with
thermocompensating.
Yes, it's a plus minus 10 seconds a year watch. It is really nice. It was like in like new condition, 1 year old. Yeah, they had still a sticker on the back which said that the battery is actually from 722. So that means that it's from the watch was in the shop a
3 years old.
Bit, yeah. So I probably have to then change the battery in a year or two. But
if I'm not mistaken, I was looking through my Grand Seiko warranty book.
Yeah.
And it said, if I'm not mistaken, watch batteries for quartz watches are complimentary.
Oh, really?
At the shop. And this might be within the warranty period, I think.
Okay.
But I don't remember. But it did say also for mechanical watches, regulation is also complimentary at any Grand Seiko boutique.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know.
Which I had also. I was like, okay, that's kind of cool.
That's kind of cool.
So,
indeed.
Yeah.
So anyhow, this is the 9F 86, I think, movement in it. And it has this blue lacquer dial, which is really nice. It has loomed hand. This is also rare for Grand Seiko. Has a fixed 24-hour bezels, but independent hour hand, so you don't have to stop the watch in order to set the different time zone. So really cool, and it's 50 years service interval for the movement. It's hermetically sealed, so that means there's no dust or everything coming in if you change the battery. So it's supposed to be really absolutely no
hassle. Yeah,
no hassle for 50 years. You still
I'll
have
check
to
in with you in 50 years. Yeah.
Yes. If you can, if I'm still around, I will be 102.
How was that Grand Seiko? I sold it 49 years ago.
Yeah. It would be so nice if it would be solar or something that would last so long. Then you can say like, oh, I've never set the watch again. Right?
We'll talk about solar in a little bit. Yeah.
Anyhow, so that is what I'm wearing just right now, the SBGN 29, and it's really, really nice. It's still one of the lower end bracelets, right? Because it's the non-polished 3-link.
Yeah, but I like that one.
But I must say, it's surprisingly convenient and comfortable. Like I remember them because I had Grand Seikos before, and I'm not missing the micro adjust, which
I did on my last one.
Yeah, it depends. Sometimes you find a nice fit that actually works in both ways with a small wrist and a swollen wrist. Then it's not too bad, right? Yeah. Anyhow, it's 19 millimeters lug width. So that's I now, thanks to Hodinkis going out of business for straps, I have a few. So
I also have a new 19 millimeter strap. I bought 9 of them from 10 of them on eBay for 1,000 dirhams.
No.
Yeah. So, and not to mention, I picked and chose. So once again, I think I have found the supplier for the Hodinkee straps, or someone who happened to get a giant, and I think it's a supplier. Because they said that the straps are made in the US.
Ah, okay. I sent you one of the German brands that they had one.
Yeah, you sent me already. Yeah, exactly. Hodinkee, but this is one of the US ones. And this is stupid thing. This is the textured
Epsom
kind of
thing.
Epsom.
Epsom.
Is that the word?
Epsom.
Epsom. Leather straps in my beautiful tan color. I got this one in gray. I got this one in, it was a light gray, dark gray, tonal stitched tan, and the white stitched tan plus taupe. So I got like 5 of this specific one, and then I got 5 of the goat ones in all different colors, all in 19. So essentially the idea being that they're really, really good straps, and for 20 some odd dollars a piece, I think you can't really do much better than that. Unfortunately, the seller on eBay, out of the 10, so essentially out of 10 straps, it's 20 pieces, right? Out of those 20 pieces of strap, 3 were 18 millimeter and not 19 millimeter. So I got back to him. I said, "What's up, bro?" And he said, if you think they're not 19. I'm like, "What do you mean?" Like, here's a picture with the caliper on it. It's clearly 18. So I discussed with him, and he said he will send out the correct ones. This was Tuesday, and I have not heard from him since. So I wouldn't be surprised. This is the reason I think he's the manufacturer, is I think he's printing out some new straps at the moment and stamping them with the Hodinkee stamp.
Yeah. Or he's the one who actually said, like, you know what, I buy your entire warehouse up for what you still have left. Something
no,
like
because
that.
The thing is, he has way too much stuff.
Okay.
And all of it is the same styles. So this is why I thought that's not the case. Because once again, why wouldn't Hodinkee just, have sold everything in the $5 sale?
True.
So
then maybe, he's the supplier. He has just is the middleman or whatever, and has the straps.
A boatload that never actually made it to Hodinkee. So this is what I'm thinking it is. And also his eBay seller name is, where is my eBay here? If I'm not mistaken, it was. So for those of you listening, you can go check him out. Fairly good guy. And I asked him what he had in certain sizes, certain styles. Strap_geek.
Strap geek. Okay.
Yeah. So, geeks, plural. Strap_geeks. So
there's so many strap dealers these days, right?
Bajillion straps he has from Hodinkee, plus other random ones with no branding. So this is another reason I think he might be a manufacturer. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Straps aside, let's talk a little bit briefly about the Donald Trump thing. So essentially,
Trump thing, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Essentially, Donald Trump said, everyone's mean to the US. Everyone puts VAT on our products. We're going to put import duties on your products. And he published a couple days ago a giant list of every country and all of their prospective tax rates effective April 9th. And the biggest one, of course, that struck me was 34%, I think it was, for Switzerland, which would then effectively make a $10,000 watch, $13,000.
If they pass it on and calculate their profit margin the same way, yes, it would make the watch.
Yes, it would. So either way, these are prices that cannot be absorbed very easily. And this was mentioned in a few watch brands, press releases saying that, this is going to be passed on to the customer. We're sorry. Laws are laws.
Some brands have done that already. They have communicated. Farah, it's an American brand.
Farah is the one I saw. Exactly.
Christopher Ward has done that and also said, like, we have to increase a bit, right? And it's tough for these
So
companies.
Nonetheless, but then apparently everyone, all the Swiss manufacturers got together and, like, I don't know, wrote him a crayon message and mailed it to him, and then he said, "Oh, everybody's being nice, so I will pause all of this."
My ass, he said. Actually, I'm quoting the President of the United States.
He said, "What?
Everybody is kissing my ass."
Really?
He said it on the conference there, and it's on.
He said
TV.
Everyone except for China.
Yes.
And so everyone, he reduced these tariffs for 90 days. Effective immediately to 10%, right? Paused them.
So the base one for 10% is still there.
Yes. And then, except for China, who is bumped up to 125%.
Yeah.
Because apparently they didn't. Yeah, exactly. So they.
Yeah, see, this is all a complete. And then the stock market just shot up again because it was in terrible depression territory, and it's shot up again. Thank God. I mean, my stock portfolio looked very, very sad, but it's a bit better now. But still, it's just such a disaster for absolutely the way they calculated the supposedly reciprocal tariff, which is not, because a lot of countries, the average tariff rate in the EU, for example, is 2.5% or something like that. It's pretty low. But he says, VAT is so much, is for an example, something like anyhow, that's something that restricts or make it worse. And they don't take, EU doesn't take the beef, and it doesn't take the chicken, and it doesn't take all of these things that he said. And it's true, because the EU is protecting, it has different environmental standards and food safety standards. So this chlorine washed chicken is something that, I mean, maybe you have tried this because it's available here, sometimes from some American producers. So, for example, if you go to Chili's here and you eat the chicken, you get American chicken. And then sometimes you get this chlorine whiff when you eat the chicken salad. And you think, ugh, it smells like a swimming pool, right? And you think,
why would you go to Chili's?
No, I'm just saying, it is, I love the quesadilla explosion salad. But anyhow, so the point is, that is something that is not allowed in the European Union. And that's, of course, this is why they have their problems. And also he complained about the cars and all of the stuff that I mean, look, Switzerland is a country of 9 million people. Let's make an example. Swiss cheese. The Swiss sell cheese to the Americans. 340 million people. They might buy a lot of Swiss cheese. Then the Pennsylvania cheese, or whoever produces cheese in the United States. I think there's one state that is very famous for its cheese, right? I forgot which one it is.
Who is it? Vermont. Vermont is the cheese state.
So all of the cheese out of the United States is being sold in Switzerland without any taxes and fees and tariffs. How much can 9 million people buy to compensate? It doesn't work, right? Yeah. You can't have a trade balance with a country of 9 million people. That doesn't work. They cannot possibly buy as many products as the other way around. So it is an illusion to think that everything can be balanced perfectly fine. And you might have a trade balance, for example, with your supermarket. They don't buy anything from you, but you buy everything from them. So it's terrible. But it works, because a Swiss watch, for example, can only be made in Switzerland. But certain other things in America can only be made in America. So it's totally fine. You have this specialization, and that works. Anyhow, he has the idea that he can bring manufacturing back, and this tariffs will help him. Good luck with that idea. I don't think it will work, because the moment you stop the tariffs, nobody will invest anymore, which is exactly what happened now. He basically said the tariffs are there to stay in order to get manufacturing back. But if you then pause them all the time, then what's the point?
Anyway,
nobody knows.
I wouldn't, once again, anything he says, I take with a grain of salt. So I wouldn't rely on it.
I expected it to be, standard now. That would mean that in the US, watches will be more expensive than in the rest of the world. That means that in the US, the pre-owned dealers also have a field day, because now they can actually increase their prices, because nobody can import even used watches. Without paying the tariffs.
But then this gets into, as we said, arbitrage, right?
Yes.
People are going to be going to Europe and buying watches and bringing them over and smuggling them in, and then selling them for insane amounts.
Absolutely, 100%. 100%. That would have happened. And that Rolex is very big, for example, at harmonizing the prices, right? Even if they have to eat.
I was thinking, just like Apple does this as well, right? Yeah. So how are they going to do this? I have a sneaky suspicion I know how they're going to do this. They're going to screw everyone.
Everywhere. Yeah, exactly. They use this to raise the prices everywhere by 10%, and then just compensate that they make a bit less money in the US, but a bit more everywhere else. That is true. That would probably be happening, and it's sad for everybody, right? So everybody was in a tailspin, not knowing. And then Oris, for example, already announced, we have no idea what to do. We will have to figure it out. we have to do the calculation. We have no other chance of passing it on because we already had people on furlough in 2024. I wasn't aware of that, right? That Oris was one of the companies that actually furloughed people. But that shows that the industry is not in the best of health, especially in the low-end watches, right? The next thought I had is suddenly certain brands just jump into the next price tier, right? Suddenly a brand that was always under $1,000 is above $1,000 with the same product. So you think, that could be interesting dynamics that happen there, right? Value for money and stuff. Now I'm in this.
It's a strange thing.
I'm just shaking my head and thinking, let's wait.
Yeah, this is gonna be weird. Anyway, all right. We just wanted to. We'll keep up with this as it goes on, as it moves on. But I think it's time for us to talk about Watches and Wonders, the elephant in the room. So we decided, we're just gonna go through quickly and talk about the things that appealed to us.
Yeah,
and we can go one at a time, and we'll just say a brand and we could talk about it. So Ralph is going to choose some obscure ass brand already. I can already feel it in my toes.
100%.
He's going to be like, I want to talk about HYT.
No, HYT would be way too common. I want to talk about, it's a very nice brand. It's the first time, and I think first time at Watches and Wonders, it's Rudies and Silver. See, there you go. I got you, right?
I have no idea what that is. No.
Okay, I figured it out. I looked at them and I saw, double balance and all of this whatever stuff,
You do know we have like 30 minutes left in this episode.
And I saw that they
starting
are
with this, right?
starting at 200,000 Swiss francs, and I decided, okay, I don't want to talk about them anymore. So
okay, you've used yours. I get to go next. So
Tudor,
let's talk about
Tudor.
once again, the elephant in the room, Tudor, right?
Okay.
Tudor did some interesting things. Nothing that anybody expected, right? Not
cool,
one thing. I don't know about super cool. Just weird. Now here's two things. One, they made a finally the new Black Bay 58, right? Because it was not keeping with its counterparts. The 54 and the other, the regular 41 had received updates, facelifts, but the 58 did not. So it received those facelifts in red.
With a
all red
dial.
Red dial, red bezel. Like, what the hell? And then on top of this, they're keeping the other ones in the portfolio next to the red one. So you could have a choice of an old Black Bay 58 or a newer one, which is weird. That's weird.
What's the price difference? Do you know?
400, I think $400. 400 pounds, something around there.
Yeah,
1,000 dirhams.
What it is, it's master chronometer.
Right? You get some more bang for your buck.
Movement. Yeah. It's a new movement. It's a master chronometer certified, and it's a bit different case, right? It's a bit slimmer.
Yes. No, actually, I don't know about if it's a slimmer case. Nobody mentioned this. I looked, and it still looked the same. Okay. So I don't know if they slimmed it down. However, what I do know is it now comes on a T-Fit bracelet. And you get to choose rubber, cool, Jubilee, or the original 3-link.
Yeah, that already
helps. It's kind of cool. Yeah. While Ralph looks up to see if this is in fact slimmer or not.
Because I thought it is.
I thought so too. That's the first thing I went for, and I didn't see anybody say anything about it being thinner.
But while you wanted to do this, maybe you talk about the other elephant in the room. Yeah,
that's where I'm going. Exactly.
The woolly mammoth in the room.
The woolly mammoth in the room is
the Black Bay
68.
68.
What the
They're
hell?
Just one number shy of 69. So,
but you know why? Basically, here's the fun thing: is it should, by all intents and purposes, everyone said be the Black Bay 69, because in 1969 the snowflake hand was released.
Yeah.
In 68, it was in development. So they went with 68 to be politically,
I think
kosher,
they just didn't
PC,
want to be
correct, whatever.
The butt of the joke.
But the funny thing is, their slogan is "Born to Dare," yet they refuse to dare and call it the 69. They chose the easy way out, which I think is a bit ridiculous. So I am a little bit surprised by this, but nonetheless, you have a silver dial. With a black bezel and a blue dial with a black bezel, I think.
This is one of my
kind of weird.
My little niggles there. While I think a 43mm watch is interesting because everybody goes smaller and they go bigger, right? It's just like, wow, that's interesting, right? At the least to say that. But I think they're doing. this is a bit like a punch into Breitling's face, right? Because Breitling still has these bigger watches up to 46 and millimeters and stuff. So it's like, hey, maybe we have a few people. And to be honest, when you look at watches and how they are being sold, for example, in the United States, you have way more links on the bracelets in the US because people have a bit bigger wrists in the United States, right?
Mm-hmm. Do they?
Yes. Here in the Middle East, for example, they sell, Rolex, for example, sells watches with lesser amount of links, right? To a certain extent. I mean, I don't know if they're doing this universally, but there's a lot of watches being sold in the United States markets that have a bit more links on them, where you have to remove like 5, 6, 7, 8 links in order for it to fit. While in other places, it's not. In Asia or so, because people have
smaller wrists. Yeah.
Wrists. Anyhow, so maybe this is really for the American market to say, well, people, they have bigger wrists, so they might want to have a bigger watch, right? So it might make sense. Not 100% sure if that's the reason, but it could be. Anyhow, but I don't like black and blue.
I don't either. I don't. I think it's a weird combo. I'm not a huge fan of it. It looks very Oris. Oris would do black and blue, and I would be okay with it. But for some reason, it's just weird. Why did they just do black? I think they should have matched bezels. Yeah. That would have been the easiest one.
I really couldn't understand that. I was like, why would you do that, right? So that was my problem there. I didn't get it. Yeah. So.
Okay.
What to do? So what else? I mean, we have also a new.
So then we had a few other small things, right? We had a Tudor Pelagos Pro. Is that what it's called? Pro, which is 43 millimeters.
Ultra Pro.
Ultra. So it's the like the Apple Watch Ultra. It is 1,000 meters water resistance, and it is 43 millimeters. Cool. Absolutely no reason why not to do that. I think that's fine. No issues on my part. On the other hand, we had the Black Bay Pro, essentially the GMT Explorer 2 looking thing, come out at in a white dial, opaline silvery white dial.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I have no complaints there either. Looks pretty good.
It does look good.
I did like that they changed the actual format of the dial. Before they had just Lume chunks, like ceramic chunks of Lume as the markers. And now they did the Explorer 2 thing where they have black surrounds for the hands and which I think looks good on a white dial. And then of course the new Jubilee bracelet for the Chronos. And that's it. Everybody was expecting a big block, didn't come. Everybody was expected colors for other things, didn't come.
I would have bet my life on it. That finally the big block is coming, and it didn't. And it's just,
which is fine.
Can't
leave them be.
It.
I think it's fine.
It will come. Eventually.
It will at some point. They have to. They made the movement. So, all right, moving on. Let's go. Rolex. We already talked about everything we talked about in a whole episode is true.
Just a quick summary. Do you think Tudor releases were okay? I thought they were actually quite good.
They're fine.
Yeah, it was fine. It was a good release. Right?
Yeah. I thought it was pretty decent. Yeah. I thought it was one of the better ones. I still don't need a 43 millimeter Black Bay, but sure, why not?
Okay. So, Rolex. What else?
Everything we talked about before. Once again, Land Dweller talked about in
just it didn't come with quartz like I thought. Right? It came with high beat movement.
Oh, that's new. We were making skepticalizations.
Yeah.
Skepticisms. What were we making?
I think.
What was the word I'm looking for? Well, we were assuming it would be something new, right? Because once again, if you look back at the Oyster quartz, right? Yeah. The Oyster quartz was at the time the revolutionary new thing for Rolex. So in the same way, this is the revolutionary new thing for Rolex.
It is.
The name sucks.
Yeah.
But other than that, I mean, no, the name it doesn't suck. I should rephrase. The name sucks for this watch.
Yeah, you could say that. I mean, a Land Dweller
would need to be something like bulky, something.
See, the sky.
Chunky.
I think the truest to the Dweller name is the Sea Dweller.
Yeah, it is.
Right?
It
because
is.
it's chunky, it's tough.
But Sky Dweller takes the GMT and goes one step further.
Yeah.
And this takes what? The Datejust? But the Datejust isn't land. The land would be the... you know what? It should have been the Explorer 2. The Explorer 2 should have been the Land Dweller.
It should be the Explorer line, yeah. Something like that.
No, the Explorer would have been Explorer.
Mm.
And then the Land Dweller would be the Explorer 2.
Yes.
Because it's a more high-tech
in the Explorer line, yeah. Somewhat squeeze it in there. So what do we get? High beat movement for the first time ever from Rolex, I think, right? I don't think they had ever made a 36,000 vibrations per hour movement.
I didn't think so.
A Dynapulse. Natural balance with
and somebody said Oyster Pulse would have been such a better name.
True. They decided to call it a Dynapulse. They made it out of a super laser acid etching, super silicon construction
exactly
thing.
What you said.
So it is a crazy
sharks with laser beams attached to their heads
from James Bond. And and what they did is this is a way of producing that wasn't even possible 10 years ago. So it's high tech. It is absolutely state of the art. They have 32 patents on this watch, 18 already only for the movement. Siloxy hairspring. It's basically completely anti-magnetic. So it's basically the Milgauss. This is actually the Milgauss. So it's completely anti-magnetic. So, and they managed to make it superlative.
The Milgauss could have been the Land Dweller.
Yes.
That would have been, seriously. Why did they just call it a Milgauss and I would have been happy?
Yes.
Like, why did they have to do this with a name?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Anyhow, so this natural escapement is two wheels, and if you look at the website and you see how it actually is made, it is as big as let's say the coaxial escapement for Omega, right? It is amazing. And you have 66 hours of power reserve. So not reaching a 70, which is basically the ideal, but close. And that with a high beat movement and superlative chronometer certification. So that movement in itself is crazy. And you get a case back. Transparent case back, so you can see that.
Yeah, in all of them, in the stainless steel. So this is the first stainless steel Rolex with a see-through case back.
Absolutely, it
all
is pretty insane.
I'm gonna go on what's it called on a quick power play or whatever you want to call it, because we need to go through all these Rolexes.
Let's first finish Rolex. Yeah, okay, come on.
We're never gonna finish.
Finish Rolex. Sprite. White
okay, you want me to? I thought you were gonna finish your oyster quartz or whatever the hell it's called thing.
That's
okay, good. So then we had a GMT, as I called it, exactly in precious metal. We have a white gold GMT Sprite. We have a badass root beer with a tiger's eye stone dial, which is super cool. And then a bunch of
multiple watches.
Even. Yeah, and then OP colors in weird colors. But once again, they're now pastel compared to the vivid colors we used to have. And of course, Celebration dial. And any color they're in is kind of gone. The candy pink stayed for some reason. That was kind of surprising. And not just that, the candy pink went to the 28 millimeter size, which it had never gone to before.
Yeah.
Which I think is super cool.
Yeah. Then we have, dials. They have done a lot, right? They have done a lot of dials for the new, the Daytonas. They have brought out a new John Mayer. They have brought a new white gold Daytona with a blue dial. They have brought out these, I think it was a meteorite dial in 3 different meteorite dial for the Daytona on Oyster Flex in 3 different golds, yellow, ever rose, and white gold, and of course the Tiffany blue one.
Yeah. Everyone saw that,
and I couldn't believe it because it looks. I still don't like it. Yeah, I still don't. I think.
But if you imagine yourself being a Persian nightclub owner living in Miami, that is the perfect watch for you.
That is a bit of a niche, but yes. So then, what I also came, which I think is a bit underreported. This I want to mention it. New Datejust President bracelet, solid gold. Datejust with a President bracelet in 31 millimeters.
Okay, I did not know this.
Yeah. So I can just, can you allow me to share my screen? So I just show it.
I can allow you to do that. Yes.
Nearly everything. So, because I wanted to show you that, because that is pretty cool. Okay, there we go. And here. So you should be able to see this now.
Yep.
It has a Fume dial, lots of diamonds on the dial and on the bezel, and it's a 31 millimeter one, a red Fume dial, and it's yellow gold with a president bracelet and a hidden clasp. Also something we had in the Lady Datejust, I think.
We had this before, yeah.
But this is
remember,
really
Lady
cool.
Datejust is 28 now.
Yeah. And then the one thing that also nobody reported is actually the 1908 got a bracelet.
Yeah, which is very nice. It's like a beads of rice style bracelet. I think it's super cool.
And you know, the one thing that also nobody really talked about is that it's actually not an integrated bracelet. It is a one that has gaps. See this?
Oh, yeah. I like that. I like that a lot.
It's like a very traditional old style. So it's so not Rolex, right?
It's very cool. But I think it's more of a jewelry bracelet, right?
It has gaps between the...
So speaking of, we're done with Rolex here. I'm going to move on. We're done with Rolex.
We're done with Rolex, Skydweller, Daytona, GMT Master, New Dials. Yes, okay, we're done.
Okay. Now, let's go to JLC because this bracelet is very similar to what JLC also made. They have now created an all yellow gold. I think it's yellow or is it pink? I don't remember. But it's all monotone gold. It's stunning. Reverso with not an integrated, but a Milanese bracelet. And it's
I've seen
awesome.
This, yes. I've seen
It's just a plain monoface Reverso. And they had a gold, everything's gold, right? Bracelet, dial, the works. And I thought it was super good looking. That was a neat thing. The bracelet drapes absolutely beautifully. So I think if I were to choose one company, this rose gold one company that did it, that did the best job in Watches and Wonders, I'm going to go with JLC with all of the new Reversos because they have an absolute laundry list of new Reversos. So that's one of them. Second, the world timer. What is it? Geophysic or no? What do they call it?
Geographic.
Graphic.
Reverso Tribute Geographic. Crazy
so
stuff.
Multiple reasons why this is cool, right? One is it's actually the numbers that rotate and not the cities, as if it was on every other world timer. And this makes the back of it look like almost as if it was a monoface Reverso, right? Because essentially you have a solid case back again, right? The middle is still metal with enamel on it, so that's cool. It's just such a well done, such a beautiful watch.
It could be just a normal watch, and the back is basically your world time complication.
Yep. So that's
really cool.
And then there was another one that they made, which was even cooler, which was the Reverso
minute repeater.
They made a minute repeater, which is insane. They made an insane Reverso minute repeater, but that wasn't my favorite. My favorite was the
dual phase small seconds.
The small seconds, by the way, that's a new thing. They changed the colors and the layout of the dual faces. So before we had I have the classic dial, right? So they made these so that the white face or the alternate face is also kind of a classic, or how should I say it, a tribute looking dial.
Right.
So that one is also changed. But which one was the one? There was one. They made a couple of these enamel ones, which are insane as well.
They have done enamel ones. They have done wonderful guilloche versions. Right.
Yes, but there was one that I'm forgetting.
Limited editions, and I don't know. This was it, and then even
was it the? Is there a calendar one, or what was it? Was it a calendar? What the hell was it? Go to the big date gold one here. Yeah, what's this one? Oh, I remember this one. Click this one. Yep.
There's one moonface, nonantième enamella.
Yes, and where's the backside?
Wait a second. Here. This
there
is the one
it
that you
is.
mean, right?
Look how it's a jump hour. They made a moon face on the front with a regular thing, and the back becomes a jump hour complication, which is insane as well.
This year is that's one of the complications that really had. Cartier, for example, as well.
Everyone is doing jump hours.
Yeah.
So this is super cool. I think Reverso really had quite a year. This is why I'm wearing my Reverso today, to show
That's a good
solidarity
one.
with my brethren.
That is now also my favorite release. I love that combination between a jump hour and just a normal.
It's just a regular plate Reverso with a moon face.
So cool.
And then you flip it as a jump hour. It's nuts.
It's so cool. It's not.
It's thick. It's a fat boy though.
This is why we love GLC, and it's good to see that they're coming back. Unfortunately, the prices will be inquire by telephone or something. But
yeah, 100%. Availability.
Inquire by phone.
Inquire by phone. Yep.
But who knows,
these prices are not
so
normal. Oh, one more thing that was mentioned in passing. The cheapest Reverso now is, I believe, starting, I think it's 8,000 or 9,000 Swiss francs, right? This is the cheapest one you can get now.
Let's have
which
a look,
is the regular small monoface.
So they have not reduced the prices, right?
No. If you look through it, so it should be around $10,000 for the cheapest one, which is going to be this one down in the bottom left.
Dual face.
That one. How much is it?
86. New size.
$8,900?
$8,900. Yeah.
So that's the cheapest Reverso as it is. Now, apparently, the CEO of JLC has said there will be soon new Reversos coming with a price starting with a 6.
Good idea.
Now, this is all that they said. This tells me, I'm guessing, being that they're a member of the Richemont group, I'm guessing we're getting solar Reversos. Solar quartz Reversos.
Yeah.
I'm thinking this is what's going to happen, because if you think about it,
Tag Heuer uses it. I know that's
Tag Heuer is
LVMH.
That's LVMH, but nonetheless, everyone's starting to use this.
Yeah.
They're not going to make a movement for 6,000 Swiss francs. Like, they've already moved that price point up to 9.
They could use
so
an
they're
old
not
one,
going to do
right?
that.
If
So the old one is the new one. There is no difference in the movement. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
so this is the one movement that's gone in the monoface.
So they need to be some even.
So they need to do something, right? And the only thing I can think of is either it's going to be quartz, but they wouldn't do just a plain old quartz. I think they would want to do something special.
You're right. Look, because the current entry level model is a 2-hander.
Yes.
Right. So it doesn't matter if you have a quartz movement in it.
Exactly. So this is what my guess is. There will be a quartz.
I agree.
And I'm guessing, once again, just out of pure, JLC likes to do the one step above thing. So they would do a solar quartz instead of a regular quartz.
So with this new La Joux-Perret Solargraph watches, I think you also have the real good quality on them, right? I mean, it's like you certainly have a very long service life. You don't need to change batteries every few years.
Unfortunately, they're also not replaceable.
What, the battery?
That's an issue. Yeah. So no, they are replaceable.
On my Citizens, there are.
No, yeah, exactly. But on the, I had a friend with a Cartier tank, quartz, and he needed a new movement for it, and it was not in warranty anymore. And he went to go inquire for how much it would be, and they told him, I think, something like 10,000 dirhams for a new movement, which the entire watch costs like 13,000 dirhams.
That makes no sense.
So this is the issue that we're seeing. So I was like, no way. So I did some Googling, I could not find a single movement for that watch to buy.
But even if, I would seriously doubt their expertise there and saying like, hey, is it really, just try to put a new battery in.
Do you have to replace the whole thing?
Yeah.
Right? I don't know.
I don't think so. That makes no sense to me.
And this was Cartier who said this.
Yeah, that's weird. I think something is not right there.
Exactly. Who knows? Anyhow. But anyway, all right. Yeah. Moving on. Let's go to Cartier since we already talked about Cartier a bit. We are very, very quickly running out of time, so we got to pick up the pace a little bit. Cartier came out with, of course, the thing that took the, how do you say it? They took the cake, is the one that I cannot pronounce. The Tank that one.
That one.
The jump hour one. Yeah. Tank Aguichet.
So what I like about it, look, jump hour, okay, that's a complication, right? The rest is just a normal
Give me this in stainless
disc,
steel.
right?
I wanted this in stainless steel so badly.
I still don't think it's actually
I hate
very
the one.
nice
I hate
to look
this.
at.
This is the limited one. This is the limited one. It's limited to 200 pieces. It has this weird offset stuff going on. I don't like it. But the regular one with the regular smiley face, essentially, a mono. What do you call it? What is it in mythology? What was the guy with only one eye? The Cyclops.
It's a Cyclops.
It's like a Cyclops with a smiley face underneath. And I think that one looks good, especially given that they made a whole new movement for this. It's a manually wound new movement, which I think is super cool.
Yeah, and I think
also now they have XL Tank Louise, which is also stupid.
Nice. I mean, yeah. So I think it's a solid release from Cartier, but nothing. Yeah, it's not really my cup of tea. I'm not so sure about these tiny displays. I find
the jump hour I would do. I would 100% do one of those if it was.
I want to talk. I mean, and obviously, I would love to talk about Patek and Vacheron, but I think we don't have enough time.
The new Calatrava is fantastic. The gold Calatrava, the gold on gold, I thought was a fantastic looking.
Did you also see the one from the new Cubitus? I mean, smaller sizes. So
smaller Cubitus, which we knew already was coming.
Yeah, and I still think they're just not looking that great. I thought when they're smaller, they will look better, but at least on the pictures, it still looks a bit weird. I have to see them in person again because Then okay, so Vacheron, I don't want to talk about this, and A. Lange & Söhne, Hermès, and Chopard, I don't talk about these, but I want to talk about Grand Seiko, because Grand Seiko was at
they made a new Tentograph, 2 Tentographs.
Yes, and it's just also bought out the new Spring Drive UFA.
Yes, the ultra fine accuracy.
Fine adjustment or accuracy.
Accuracy. I thought it was accuracy. But anyway, and also the biggest thing, the biggest breakthrough in Grand Seiko history, they finally have micro adjust on their bracelets.
Yes, they have a new bracelet.
But not on all the bracelets, just on some.
No, of course, like with Tudor, the T-Fit slowly rolls out, right? But it's just insane. I mean, first of all, the UFA ultra fine adjusted 20 seconds per year. A mechanical watch.
Which is once again mechanical, exactly.
That is fully driven by a hairspring, a mainspring. So it's not, no hand is moved by any battery or anything like that. There is no battery in this whole thing. Spring Drive doesn't use a battery.
Yeah.
They just produce enough energy while spinning the wheel and then breaking that same wheel that actually makes the energy. It's just insane. Anyhow, so 20 seconds per year of accuracy with us. It's just amazing.
It is.
And then when you look at the newest, this particular one, the UFA, the SLGB001 Evolution 9 collection, you see that there is no typical Spring Drive always has a power reserve, and they still have it, but it's on the back.
They've been doing this on the back thing for a long time now.
Yeah, but I like it that they're putting it on the back.
But once again, it's not new.
Asymmetric.
Does yours have it?
Thing. No, I mean, mine is
Yours
quartz and the other one is high beat, so it doesn't have it anyways.
So but congratulations. Between us, we have 3 Grand Seikos, none of which are Spring Drive.
So what I don't like is this one here, the Tentograph.
Hideous. It looks like an AP. It looks like the AP, what's it called?
The Concept.
Concept one,
Royal
exactly.
Concept.
I don't like it.
Like these Osinski Hublots. Right, Hublot has also these Osinski line where they have these facets. So anyhow, I just show you that because then Osinski or so. I don't know if I pronounced it correct. Orlinsky, shit.
Yes, Orlinsky I've heard of. Osinski I have not.
Orlinsky. And this should here, go away.
Yeah, it does. You're right.
Right? It looks
really looks like it a little bit, yes. Okay, moving on quickly. What else do we have?
But the Tentograph is but ugly. It has a minute hand, an hour hand that is so big that it will completely,
block all of your subdials.
All of the subdials. And I really don't understand what they were thinking at this. So, and then whatever. Tentograph, but it's there.
Yes, it's there. Now, moving on from Grand Seiko, let's talk about, I don't really care about them. You probably care about them, is IWC. The new line of Ingenieurs. So then we
yeah.
got an Ingenieur 35. We have an Ingenieur perpetual calendar, and that's about it. And
available.
a ceramic. And a ceramic in a 42, 43 millimeters, a big one. So the ceramic is big. 42.
Yeah.
So
I mean, look, I have a Gérard-Perregaux
that looks
ceramic,
exactly like this,
which looks 100% like this watch. I mean, it's fully ceramic.
And the price would have been double this, brand new.
Yeah, I think mine is, what is it?
Not double, but at least 50% more.
20,000 pounds, I think, and the Ingenieur is 17,000.
This is a pretty good deal.
It's pretty close. Yeah, but of course, I mean, look, it's a full
bargain.
Yeah, I like it because I mean I have bought the Gérard-Perregaux after all, but and it has a transparent case back,
and everything is ceramic on the or blackened on the inside as well.
And
the movement.
even like my Gérard-Perregaux, it has a smoked sapphire case back, so it looks more dark,
more black.
And I think this is just such a cheap copy of my watch.
Exactly, definitely. 100% IWC. How dare you? But they did put
watch.
their
no, but it's nice. I like it.
Their perpetual calendar movement inside one of these. It is a thick boy.
That is also cool.
But it's cool. It's cool. It's very thick. And once again, just like AP, it's adjustable only from the crown. There is no pushers, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
And the other ones, they're just a bunch.
The perpetual and the 35 millimeters, I think they're great for ladies. Already available in Abu Dhabi. Somebody posted this, that it's there available.
I would buy one. I would buy a 35 millimeter 100% if they did away with the date window. I just don't understand why they need a date window on every single thing. IWC is like obsessed with date windows.
Yeah.
I'm sure the pilots in the freaking, World War II were looking at what date is it today? Is today D-Day? Because I can't tell. I don't know what the hell they were like. Why would you?
And you also have the 40,000 pound watch or $40,000. I don't know how much the conversion there is for the 40 millimeter version in solid gold, right?
Yeah, as you do, as you do.
But then, of course, they also cheapened out a bit and took the transparent case back in because saving a bit of gold. No, I'm joking, but it's. At least they're showing the movement. They're showing the movement now, which they didn't do before because it wasn't actually that great. But I don't know if they actually made upgrades to the movement. They say no, but because it looks pretty nice. At least
maybe they're all that
looks
nice.
okay.
I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I don't know.
So what else did they do for Watches and Wonders? I have no idea.
That's kind of it for them. That's all I took away. We're just talking about the big takeaways.
Yeah.
I heard that there's some Portofino or something that changed. I don't know, but
I think they had also they had some new Fliegers as well. These were not Tahoma. What is that called? These Mojave, some smaller ones they have. I think time only Ceratanium stuff. So yeah, there's some good releases.
But nothing notable to write home about. And that's I think it. That's kind of
for
in
me,
Watches and Wonders. That's what stood out to me.
One standout I find important. Vacheron Constantin has brought out the Le Cabinotier Solaria
the
Ultra,
most complicated wristwatch ever.
Also an ultra watch, exactly like Tudor. Ultra grand complication. It has a minute repeater, 1,521 parts in that watch, 45 millimeter big, 14.9 millimeter thick. And has this 41, as you said, 41 complications. And it's
super cool. It is very cool. I give them full credit.
I must say.
And the thing is, remember, I didn't care about the Berkeley that much.
Because it was a hockey book, right?
I like. This is cool, right?
It's totally wearable, modern. Yeah.
Didn't Bulgari come out with a new thinnest something as well?
I don't know. Was it thinnest minute repeater or something? I don't know.
No, thinnest tourbillon, was it?
I don't know.
I think it was thinnest tourbillon, no? But I see something vaguely in the back of my mind. I see the word Bulgarian something. But I remember there was some Octo Finissimo, and it was also the thinnest of something. So I'm not entirely sure what, but
let me see if they have mentioned it
click,
here.
Click,
yeah.
There you
Octo
go. Tourbillon. I was
Ultra
right.
Tourbillon. Okay.
There
Ultra
you go. Thinnest
tourbillon,
tourbillon in the world. Okay.
But yeah.
I don't care. Good for them.
Yeah.
Good for them.
Good for them.
But that's it.
Did you see, while we're talking, when we have 1 minute, did you see the Patek, what is it, 6196P? As also a new release. There's also new Calatrava. It comes in platinum only. It's, I think, salmon dial.
Yes. I meant
this is what you meant. But you said gold. Yeah.
It's gold? No, is it platinum?
Platinum.
I thought it was white gold.
That's why I thought it's not.
No, it's stunning. Okay. This is the coolest Calatrava ever made, I think.
It's the most restrained watch I find, because it's so simple that it's actually
it's so quintessentially Patek. If I think Calatrava in my mind, this is what comes into my mind.
It basically looks like a watch that you can buy on AliExpress, because you can. There's copies of this.
Very similar. Except it's not going to be this thin. But I don't know how thin this is, but I'm assuming it's going to be like
it is
under
really
8
that
millimeters.
Thin, but will have quartz movement in it. But
yeah.
I mean, there's hands, there's no lume, everything is relatively restrained and simple, but yet I think once you have it in your hand, you will feel like, okay, this
what was
is something
it, 38
different.
millimeters, I think, 38 and a half or something?
38. It says 38 here,
38, yeah. So its thickness is 9? 9. It's a little bit thicker than I thought. Yeah.
9.3, yeah.
But it's a super good looking watch. I think it's super cool. There's one in our group already for sale at $50,000.
Yeah.
Which is retail.
Yeah, it's pretty much a bit over it, because the Calatravas are not necessarily that high anyways, right? But I think 90% of all models that they sell at Patek sell below retail.
Good, as they should.
And what I'm saying is this is really cool, because it has 65 hours power reserve, which is very decent for such a small movement and a Patek, and it has a stop second function.
It's very cool.
They're saying this on the website. That is enabling the time to be set to the exact second, which it's like revolutionary. And then people tell us there is no innovation in the watch industry. See, there it is. There's your innovation. Even Patek has a stop second in the Calatrava now. So there you go.
All right. I think unless there's something else we missed, I'm sure we missed a lot.
We missed a lot,
obviously. But things, they'll trickle out over the next however many months. I think we'll talk about stuff, but
I think there's a lot of cool brands. I mean, I didn't talk about Chapek, or Frédéric Constant has done some cool stuff. The new Nomos World Timer.
Oh, yeah, that was a cool one. Nomos World Time. It's still big. It's 40 mm. I wish they would have downsized, because the issue with the Zurich was that it was 40 mm, and now they put it into the Campus or Club or whatever the hell it is, and that one's also 40 mm. Yeah. So kind of. Yeah. Could have done better.
I think we need to talk about Tag Heuer in another episode.
No, we can talk about it now. I will make 5 minutes for Tag Heuer, because after this I have to go teach. But Tag Heuer, I totally forgot about Tag Heuer. They killed it.
Yes, I think so too.
Everything Formula One. And okay, the Carreras suck. The Carreras look like a cheap AliExpress watch. All of these new Carrera
I think they're nice updated versions of it, but yes, you're right.
No,
now the rest of the world has caught up a bit, and it looks a bit still not
cheap.
That great.
All right, so we have to talk, of course, about the lights out and away we go watch.
Okay.
The Monaco, and on it says lights out and away we go.
Where is
it's the red skeleton Monaco, or white and red skeleton Monaco. They are. I wonder if they got was it Martin Brundle who said this? Who made this up? Who coined this term? But I wonder if they got his approval to use his lingo on this. So it is something, I don't know, it's split seconds Monaco chronograph. I think that's it, but it's not showing.
Yeah, it's my.
There you go.
Lights
and if you
out,
zoom in,
and away we go.
It's kind of funny. It's ugly as hell, but it's funny.
It is indeed ugly, and it is very square. It is very square.
It is. So now we have to talk about the big the big release was, of course, the Formula Ones. Solar quartz, solar graph, 38 millimeters, so that it's not 35 anymore. People are going to be wearing this.
Yes.
And okay, they're $1,500, but
they're also steel,
cool.
right? They're all steel.
They're they're half our plastic and half our steel or something. But there's $100 difference between the plastic and the steels, which is weird. But nonetheless, here's the cool thing, the super cool thing. And I love that they did this. They're releasing one every Formula One race for the rest of the season.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
So they're not all available at once. It's going to be a new one every race. And I think that is, why did Rolex never take advantage of their partnership?
Of one new Daytona every race? Yeah. For example.
No, I don't care what they did, but this is genius. You make one of these, you can make it in every color of the rainbow. Make it, even a limited edition if they want, but they have a release every race weekend. And I think that's cool.
Do they name them then according to the Grand Prix? No, probably not. Right?
They didn't say this. They just said one every race.
Yeah.
So
I like it. I like it. I think it's actually very, very cool. I like solar graph anyways. I wish my Grand Seiko would be solar, right? So my quartz movement would be solar. I wouldn't mind. Obviously, then I can't have a lacquered blue dial, which I love so much. But this is really cool. I like it. I like the Formula One steel.
And on that bombshell,
we have to say bye-bye until the next episode. All right.
And if we forgot anything, let us know on our Instagram, and we will dive in a little bit and record some more stuff about the other unnamed releases.
Excellent. Then,
all right.
hear you soon.
Ciao,
bye-bye.
ciao.